Hey guys, Wrestling Throwdown here. I'm Haley. I'm here alone tonight. Joe's watching a movie and he was also he had to work last night so he can watch TNA. So it's just me tonight. I hope you guys still watch anyways though because it's gonna be a great show. I have noticed that our TNA reviews are our biggest views. They have the biggest views. I have like compared the reviews, which kind of surprised me. I thought our Raws would be doing better, but if you guys are really into TNA, I'm glad I'm doing these, because I was actually kind of hesitant to start doing TNA, but I decided to anyways, and I'm glad I did because TNA has a lot of really great talent. It's just, like I said last week, it's just their storylines need work, and so does their backstage segments. But their talent is great, their matches are great, and if they actually work on some stuff, they could actually be a really big threat to WWE. But it's like that's why they're losing all their viewers, and also losing AJ Styles wasn't the best thing either for them, but. They still got a lot of good talent, and they just really, I think the champion's hurting them too. I really don't think a lot of people like Bobby Lashley as champion. They would rather see, Bobby Roode, Austin Aries, someone like that. But anyways, TNA last night, it was decent. A lot of people thought it was really good. The matches were pretty good. Some of the matches were really good, actually. Like the knockouts, that was good. But the storylines, there really wasn't too many storylines build up. Pretty much just simple stuff to get ready for next week. Next week's probably going to be their big thing. I think next week is it their pay-per-view next week? Or I'm not sure. But they're supposed to, I think they're having Bobby Lashley and Bobby Roode for the title next weekend. I think they're also having the tag team titles on the line for next week too, but I'm not really positive about that. So hopefully next week's going to be their big night. Anyways, first starts off, MVP, Kenny King and Bobby Lashley come out. And MVP, he pretty much just says the same stuff over and over again. Says that Bobby Lashley is the best, no one can beat him, and that he's pretty much, no one's tougher than him, no one can beat him. And Samoa Joe comes out. This kind of surprised me. I didn't know why he was coming out here. But he was saying that he's definitely not the toughest guy in the ring and that he wants to have a match with him later on tonight. And MVP accepts. And they start attacking Samoa Joe. And that was pretty much that segment. There was nothing more to it. It was just pretty much to announce Samoa Joe versus Bobby Lashley for the main event later on tonight. Now, X Division, actually, I'll save that for when we talk about the X Division. I was going to talk about it since Samoa Joe's the X Division champion, but I'll save that. But I really don't agree with making Samoa Joe the X Division champion. I think they need to start working on their younger talent, and that's the problem with that. There's so much into the past. There's so much into their, older guys that people really liked in the past. And it's just like, well, now TNA I think is more fun. And this is also hurting. Why their ratings are hurting is because they're not picking up younger talent. They're not using the younger talent. The only person that I really see them using right now for younger talent is maybe Bram. Bram they are using. Bram's been on a really big winning streak. EC3, and maybe Samuel Shaw. That's about it. Those are the only three guys that I actually really see them doing something with. But other than that, I mean, it's the same guys. It's, Bobby Lashley, Samoa Joe. It's just, it gets annoying. And it's just, and Rhino, they're bringing all these guys back from ECW and everything like that, and it's just like, no one really wants to see that because these guys, at least I don't want to see it. I mean, I don't know about you guys. I would love to hear you guys' opinions on this, but it's just like all these guys are in their 40s now. They're run down, and it's just, it's like they can't really do as much as they did. Like, I mean, if it was ECW back in the day, then heck yeah, I would want to see it. But it's just like it's not. These guys are they're worn out. They can't do as much as they used to. To tell you the truth, I was never a fan of Rhino. Rhino was not that great to begin with, so I definitely don't want to see him now, so especially when I didn't want to see him back then. Definitely don't want to see him now. But that's pretty much what I got to say about that. Like they said, the title picture, they need to change it. I know Bobby Lashley is still going to have it for a while probably, but he's going to MMA, or he is in MMA still right now, and that's why he's probably in TNA, because the schedule is so light and everything, he can do both. But it's just like, if he's really going to focus more on MMA, you know, they really need to, you know, hopefully have a new champion soon. And at this point, I don't care who it is. I wanted Bobby Roode to be champion, but you know what? I don't care if it's Austin Aries. I don't care if it's Eric Young anymore, even though, you know, I kind of bashed a little bit on Eric Young last week, said that he really the only reason he had the champ title was because of Daniel Bryan, and it is the truth. I'm not trying to be mean. I like Eric Young and everything. I think he's a very good wrestler, but it is the truth. But, I mean, it's just like anybody would be, you know, Kenny King. I hate Kenny King. Put him as the champ. I mean, even just someone new, someone that we haven't really seen yet, you know, they need to just stop. Oh, it annoys me. I don't know. I think making Bobby Lashley their champ was just a big mistake. And I mean, we got Brock Lesnar in WWE too, and I really don't like that either. So it's just like, it's just sometimes I think they really need to think about their champions for a second here. I mean, yes, you know, a lot of these guys, you know, people want to see a lot of these guys, but it's just like, it's just, I don't know, their schedule and everything, they're doing stuff at the same time, and then these hardworking guys you got, and you're not giving them a chance. It doesn't make sense to me. But anyways, enough about my rant. Sorry about that, guys. I kind of just went on a rant there. Next is Terrence Terrell versus Gail Kim. This is for the Knockouts title. I actually thought Terrence Terrell was going to win. I thought they were actually going to give her the title, and thank God that they didn't, because I do not like Terrence Terrell. If you guys have noticed, in all of her matches, she's been carried. And that's why, you know, you guys can say that she's had great matches with Gail Kim and everything like that. But Gail Kim, it's because Gail Kim is so great, and she carried her throughout the match. So, of course, they're going to have good matches. It's kind of like, you know, it's a few wrestlers. I don't know if I can really name someone off the top of the bat. But it's like if... sometimes with John Cena, sometimes he, you know, has bad matches, and I'm not saying he's a bad wrestler or anything. I like John Cena. I'm getting sick of him, like everyone else is. But it's kind of like with his matches, some guys, you know, that he has matches with are just bad, and he can't, like, carry them. I don't know. It's almost like with two big guys. I don't know. It's just you got to have someone who really can do a whole lot in the ring so they can carry you. And it's just like if you can't do that much in the ring, you're going to have a bad match. And that's why Terrence Terrell and Madison Rayne last week, they didn't have a good match. You know, Madison Rayne carried her, but it's just like even then, it was just like it was not a good match. This was a good match, though. They both kicked out of their moves. And Gail Kim won with like kind of a crossbody, and then she, you know, pinned her, rolled her up kind of. It was kind of a crossbody roll-up thing. But it was an interesting way. And Havoc debuted, and actually I thought this person was a guy at first. I didn't know it was going to be a girl. I don't know if they announced that it was going to be a girl, but me and my brother both thought it was going to be a guy. And she came out, and she had like half of her head shaved. She kind of looked, she looked a little bit like, shoot, what's her name? Katie Lee in the face, but obviously she wasn't Katie Lee because she was much better than Katie Lee. And she destroyed both of them. And she, you know, did her move on both of them. And so pretty much, I don't know if they're going to give her the title or what, or if they're going to move her to the title picture or what. But I really like her look. I really like that, you know, and that's the thing too with another good thing about TNA. Their knockout division is so much better than the Divas for WWE. It is just like, it's so much better. They actually have girls that can wrestle. They don't base these on looks, you know, like Havoc, she's not the most attractive person in the world. You know, I mean, I'm sure people would agree with me, but it looks like she can wrestle. It looks like she can beat the crap out of someone, and that's what they need. That's what WWE needs. They need to stop getting models from, you know, the magazines and just actually look for people who can wrestle. Like Caitlyn was actually one of them. AJ's one of them. You know, Paige is one of them. I mean, they have a good few ones in Charlotte, you know, and I would even say Summer Rae and Layla are good too. And Naomi, can't forget Naomi. But it's just like they have so many that are just like they're just in it for like almost like a beauty pageant, like Cameron and I know I've been kind of sticking up for Eva Marie, but Eva Marie too. But that's the thing with the knockouts, though. The knockouts, yes, a lot of them are pretty, but a lot of them can beat your ass too. So, you know, and that's the thing with TNA. They really look at that. They don't look at beauty. They look at if you can wrestle, and that's what I respect and like about TNA's knockout division. Next, Jessie and Robbie E. Pretty much they were, this was a backstage segment, they were pretty much arguing about this knockout that they've been seeing, and that they were arguing about how you stole her away from me, and oh no, blah, blah, blah. And Jessie said, oh, he just got a text. And, you know, Robbie E., you know, he's just like, oh, there's must be bad connection up here and everything. I like Robbie E. I'm really not a fan of Jessie, but Robbie E. is pretty funny. But it turns out that later, it's actually in the night, it's two different girls, and obviously Robbie E. was talking about Sky, and Jessie was talking to Angelina Love. So I don't know if they're going to do some kind of angle with them now, if they're going to come out to the ring with them, or what. But Velvet Sky is going to be leaving soon, so it probably is better if they just kind of keep them with, you know, Robbie E. and Jessie for now, because I don't know how many TNAs they actually taped before Velvet Sky actually took her leave with Bully Ray, but she's going to be leaving in the next few weeks, I would think. So, I mean, there's not much else you can do. You can't really give her a title picture or anything like that. So they're probably just going to focus on this little angle and stuff like that. But we'll see. I guess it gives them something to do. I don't know if Angelina Love is just going to do her own thing, or if she's going to, you know, create a new Beautiful People group. Whatever happened to Brittany either, too. Brittany is gone, too. I don't know what the heck happened to Brittany. I thought Brittany was going to join the Beautiful People, too, but that would be a good person, you know, she could have as her little sidekick, you know, especially since, you know, Brittany is heel now, or at least she was heel. I don't know if they're going to make her face or whatever, but she was heel, so we'll see. We'll see if Brittany even, you know, comes. Who knows? Next, EC3 comes out to the ring, and he pretty much dogs out the fans and says, you know, you laughed when, you know, Bully Ray put my aunt through a table, and he says, I'm not going to stop my violent streak until I get the things that I want on my list. And pretty much he says, what I want is for Bully Ray to leave, to be, you know, terminated, whatever. And I really liked his second one because I agree with it. Hardcore and Extreme need to go away. And I agree because, and you know, hear me out. You know, I know people might not like this, but hear me out here. It's like the ECW thing I was talking about earlier. It's just, it's a waste. Why do it? These guys are in their 40s. And it's just like, it's old, it's tiring. Yeah, it was cool in the 90s and even maybe the early 2000s. But it's just like, it's 2014 now. Let's get with the time, you know. Don't, you know, why put ECW, why put the Extreme and, you know, everything like that and the hardcore and all that into this? It needs to just go away. And he wants to people to give him respect. He says he's tired of the you can't wrestle chants and people starting you can't wrestle chants. And you know, I found this funny because I feel like these fans say you can't wrestle to pretty much anyone now. They actually, I think they said it to Seth once on a SmackDown, or it sure sounded like you can't wrestle to I mean, they say it's anybody. It can be the most talented wrestler ever, and they will say it. They just like to get a rise, especially if you're a heel. They like to get a rise out of you. Obviously, EC3 can wrestle. He's the next Randy Orton, in my opinion. He's a very good wrestler. So they were just, obviously, they were being trolls. I mean, they're just trying to get a rise out of him because he's a heel. And, I mean, they like to chant just crazy stuff like that. Like they like to chant the what chant. You know, that's overdone, too. And it's just, they just do these chants just to get a rise out of you. And pretty much, Rhino comes out and he attacks Spud and EC3. And he wants a match with EC3 tonight. And EC3 goes, okay, you want a match? Well, it's not going to be with me. It's going to be with Spud. Rockstar Spud. And Rockstar Spud starts going, you know, getting scared and everything, like, why me, and everything like that. And so, obviously, later in the night, the match is made for Rockstar Spud versus Rhino. This was a pretty good segment. I wish EC3 would have showed his more violent streak like he did last week, or the week before. Was it the week before or last week? I don't know. When he attacked Rhino, I think it was the not last week, but the week before. But EC3, like I said, he can be the next Randy Orton. He's got that violence and aggressive streak, and I wish they would have done a little bit more with it this week because he didn't really do too much this week. It's pretty much, I think they're setting up for Rockstar Spud and EC3 to split, obviously, and to be gone, which, you know, is kind of sad, you know. I kind of really like Rockstar Spud with EC3. I think he makes a good manager for EC3. But it seems like they're obviously going to do Rockstar Spud as a face, and EC3 obviously is a heel. So they kind of have to split them up one way or another, and I guess that's how they're going to do it. Next, Samuel Shaw is backstage, and he apologizes to Gunner, and he just says, you know, he just wanted to know what it felt like to be a hero, and he apologizes. And Gunner, you know, accepts, and he says, you know, we have a match next, so let's just focus on that. Now, I do want to talk about this one thing. There was a girl, a lady, you know, whatever, a woman, checking out Samuel Shaw, pretty intensifying, I don't know. It was just, she was just staring at him. She was kind of like fixing her hair, you know, making like sexual faces, I don't know. It was just, she was just really into him. So, who knows? It looks like Samuel Shaw is going to turn heel in this process. I know Joe thinks that Gunner is going to turn heel, but I'm gonna be the opposite because, you know, me and Joe like to butt heads sometimes. So I'm gonna go with the opposite, and I'm gonna say that Samuel Shaw is going to turn heel. I really do. I think that this is what they were setting up for, you know, just kind of to tease him as a face for a little bit, try to earn his Gunner's trust and everything just so he can get out of the hospital and so he can do crazier stuff. I think the Christy Hemme thing is done. He hasn't really done anything with Christy Hemme or anything, which kind of makes me sad. You know, I wish, you know, Christy Hemme would have turned heel in the process, to tell you the truth, and joined Samuel Shaw. But, you know, but they can still, like with that girl, you know, watching Samuel Shaw backstage, maybe they'll do something with her. You know, who knows? They could just do something crazy. But I do see him turning heel in the process soon, especially since Anderson's going to be leaving soon, too. Actually, Anderson wasn't even there tonight, so he might already be gone. Not sure. I think he was supposed to leave I think he actually was supposed to leave in September. So I think Anderson is gone. I think he's completely gone. I'm not sure, though. We'll see. Maybe in the next few weeks, and we'll see if he doesn't show up for the next few weeks. Obviously, we can say he's gone. I think he is gone. I think they did say that he was supposed to leave in September. So, and since he wasn't there last night, obviously, I think it's kind of safe to say that he's done for good. But anyways, they have their match. Bram and Magnus versus Gunner and Shaw. And like I said, Bram has been on a winning streak. He has been massive. They've actually really been pushing him. It's kind of interesting. I like seeing it. They really messed up with Magnus, so I guess they're going to have to try to work with Bram now. And Magnus is obviously having a kid with Mickie James anyways, too, so that's probably why he's going to probably be busy and everything. But Bram and Magnus win with a roll-up. And Samuel Shaw gets in the ring and he checks on Gunner's ankle and everything. And he gets all mad and he drags the ref in the ring. So there's my point right there. He's getting more aggressive and he's probably going to just end up choking Gunner out one of these days and turn back heel. He's obviously going to get either that or, like I said, I don't know. I don't know. Or maybe he's just going to be kind of like, try to look to the best interest for Gunner almost. Like if Gunner, even though Gunner's going to tell him to stay away from him one day, you know, maybe Samuel Shaw's still going to try and help him and everything, but he's going to still be aggressive and choke whoever out that does him wrong. Like it could just be even one of Gunner's friends. They could just be having, you know, conversation in the back, and if he thinks that he's being threatened or something, he can just start choking people out. So I guess you can still say that he can maybe still kind of be a face, but I don't know. They can do a couple of stuff with Samuel Shaw, but that's one way they can do it. Or they can just, you know, like I said before, have Samuel Shaw go crazy, choke out Gunner, and be done, and maybe do something with that lady that was in the back staring at Shaw. So who knows what they're going to do with this. I like Samuel Shaw, though, so I hope they do bring out his crazy streak more. It's interesting. Little backstage segment. MVP backstage with Bobby Roode, and he just said, talks about Eric Young, and he says, are you confident that he's not going to cheat and everything like that? And he said, oh, do you remember when you had him hold your bags and everything like that? I'm sure he hasn't forgotten about that. You know, I actually just talked to him. He's just trying to get into Bobby Roode's head, and obviously Bobby Roode didn't let that bother him. It was just a little backstage segment trying to get into his head to maybe throw him off his game or whatever. We already talked about that. And then the match. Eric Young versus Bobby Roode. This was for the #1 contender since, you know, last week. Was it last week? No, it was the week before. They both got out at the same time, even though it looked like Bobby Roode got out a little bit quicker than Eric Young. Obviously, they called it as them getting him out at the same time of the cage and everything. So they have a #1 contender match again. And Bobby Roode wins. And they, you know, both handshake, hug. It's all good, so they're still friends and everything. Both faces. No one turned on anything. I would like to see Eric Young turn on Bobby Roode, though. I think it would be kind of interesting just to see. But, because we haven't seen Eric Young heel for a while. He was heel. I'm pretty sure he was heel. Yeah, when he was in Team Canada, they were heel, right? I actually didn't watch TNA back then, but from what I heard from my brother when he was watching it back in the day, I think Eric Young was heel. I think they were heel, Team Canada. But I would like to see Eric Young turn heel, actually. I think that would give his character a little bit more potential. Just something different to do with him, you know. Since they've done everything that they could with him. He's just kind of like not really doing anything anymore. So, you know, just give him a fresh start. Okay, here's what I really wanted to talk about. #1 contenders for the X Division. It was the same 6 people again. Homicide, Tigre Uno, Low-Ki, Manic, DJ Ion, and Crazy Steve. Homicide wins. This actually makes me happy because I really don't like anybody in the X Division right now. Their X Division has just kind of dropped down. I don't know. It's just, it hasn't gotten, I mean, maybe it's just me who thinks this, but I remember a few years ago where their X Division was so great. I mean, they had, you know, AJ Styles, they had Austin Aries, and I still think Austin Aries is still in the X Division title. At least I think he kind of is. He's kind of switching from main event to X Division, so who knows. And I guess now, obviously, they have Samoa Joe. I don't know how long he's going to be in there. But other than a few people, they really, I mean, it's just like they kind of threw a few people in here, and it's just like a couple new guys. And it's kind of just getting boring. I don't know. It's just, the X Division matches aren't what they used to be. Like, I was really into the X Division, and a lot of times I thought they were better matches than the main events and everything like that. And now it's just kind of dying down. It's just like they lost a few guys. They lost Chris Sabin. They lost, who was the other guy? Shoot, I can't think of his name. His tag team partner. You guys know who I'm talking about, though, when they were the Motor City Machine Guns, his tag team partner. I mean, they lost quite a few guys that were that were totally X Division material, and that's what made the X Division. And it's gotten bad. I don't know. Maybe it's just my opinion. I would love to hear you guys' opinions on this. So maybe if, you want to write in the group or whatever, post, whatever. But, yeah, I would love to hear you guys' opinions. Maybe it's just me, but I'm not really a fan of it anymore. I don't care, especially with Samoa Joe being the champion, as much as as mean as that sounds. I mean, I don't like Samoa Joe, and he's kind of getting old, and it's just like, he just bores me, and it's just, I mean, maybe he was, I wasn't really even a huge fan of him back in the day, but I did say, I mean, I'm not going to, say that he didn't have talent, because he does have talent. So, and I know a lot of people really liked him back in the day, but now it's just kind of like, I think people are just getting boring of him, and they tired of him, and they just want him to go away, because I know I do. Oh, and this is what's interesting too. The next segment, it's kind of, I guess I'll combine these two segments because obviously they're together. Anyways, they happen right after another. Sonata comes out, and Manic gets pinned, obviously, by Homicide. So, Sonata comes out, and he attacks Manic, and Gene Storms and Sonata drag Manic back in the back. So obviously they're repackaging him and redoing him because James Storm said, I think it was 2 weeks ago, a week or two ago, that he is the leader of this new group. He's going to repackage. I don't know if he's just focusing on the X Division. For right now, it looks like he's just focusing on the X Division, which could be good, actually, because the X Division needs to be repackaged. But he says that, he's going to repackage him and everything like that and make him back into the title picture again. And this brings me to Austin Aries. He comes out and he says that, he's pissed about what happens last week with Sonata spraying green mist in his face, and that he's not afraid to fight James Storms and Sonata at the same time. And James Storm says he's just trying to get guys back into the title pack and try to bring them back on their feet again and make them winners again. And he's not doing anything wrong. And out comes Tajiri. I was actually really surprised. I guess my brother read something that he was going to debut, but he didn't tell me. But I guess they were going to do this for some time now. I don't know how long, but they were thinking about it. And he debuted. This is actually his first time in TNA, so it'll be interesting. He's a crazy little man though. That's all I gotta say. But I'm kind of interested in this. I kind of would like to see him be X Division champion. I think that maybe it would just do something. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just me, but I don't know. I mean, I know he's getting kind of up in age too, but Tajiri, I don't know. He's kind of new. He's kind of fresh to me. And he's never been in TNA, and that's what I kind of mean when, he's kind of still fresh to me, even though he's older and everything. I know that. But it's just like, give him a chance. Maybe he'll do something for the X Division. Maybe he'll bring it back and everything like that. So I was actually kind of interested to see this. I was kind of actually happy about this. I don't know if anybody else was, but I was kind of interested to see that he was actually signed to TNA. So we'll see what happens with this. And they both just attack James Storms and Sonata, and they leave, and blah, blah, blah. So we'll see what happens with Manic, probably next week or the week after. I'm sure next week they'll have him repackaged with his new look. Oh, and I guess he's called the Great Sonata. No, not just Sonata, the Great Sonata. Sorry about that. But yeah, let's just see what happens with Manic. I'm kind of interested to see if they just work on the X Division, if James Storms is just working on the X Division or what. Does anybody know if James Storms is hurt and if that's why he's doing this, or is it just because they don't have anything else for him and they're just making him, a manager right now? Because maybe I'll look into that. Maybe I'll look that up right now. But I'm kind of interested to know why he's doing this. If they're just the creative team, just this is the only thing they have for him right now, just something different, just to get him out of the title picture and stuff like that because they don't have anything for him, or is it because he's hurt, you know, because he hasn't wrestled. It's not like he's wrestling. He's just the manager, you know. He's just, you know, kind of like their group leader. So, and usually, I mean, they still kind of fight. The group leaders still fight. So I feel like maybe he might be hurt if he's still not really, you know, getting in the ring to wrestle anybody. I think that he might be hurt. But well, I'll let you guys know. I'll look into that. A little backstage segment. EC3 tells Spud either to face Rhino or there's the door. Pretty much either face him or you're going to be fired. Because he hasn't done anything yet to defend his Aunt Dixie Carter. So he's saying that Spud needs to do something tonight to show that he cares about Dixie Carter and obviously and blah, blah, blah. And Dixie Carter, thank God we haven't seen her for the past 2 weeks. I know we've seen her a little bit in the following week, but I'm glad that, you know, she's finally off TV for a little bit. Hopefully we get a couple months break from her because I really don't want to see her. Ooh, just no, keep her off TV. That was the best thing they could have done, is to just keep her off TV. But Spud versus Rhino, quick match. Rhino pretty much dominates him. And EC3 leaves Spud in the ring. He doesn't come out and help him. He doesn't attack Rhino. Nothing really to it. So, like I said, it looks like Spud's obviously maybe going to snap one day probably and say that he can't take it anymore and that he's going to leave EC3, and who knows, maybe it'll end a feud with them. Who knows? But Spud, I think he's better off as a manager. He's a little too tiny to be a wrestler. I mean, not that that's a bad thing. I mean, I know there's plenty of good wrestlers who are small, like Daniel Bryan, Austin Aries. I guess Davey Richards. Oh, I hate saying that name. He is talented, though, so I guess I'll give him that. You know, Davey Richards is actually really short. I think he's only like 5'8". He's like the shortest one out of all of them. But, you know, I mean, I know there's a lot, but this guy is only like, I think, 5'4" or something like that, 5'3". I don't know. He's really short, though. He's like as short as AJ Lee, and so he's, I don't know. And he can't really do flying moves. So, I mean, if he could do like high flying moves and stuff like that, then yeah, go ahead. But he can't really. I haven't really seen too much out of him. So maybe I just think that he would be better off as a manager or backstage or something like that. Because I like the guy. The guy's cool and everything. I want them to keep him and everything. But as a wrestler, I'm not sure yet. So maybe I just have to see him more in the ring to actually, you know, see what he's all about. But as for right now, I don't think Rockstar Spud should be a wrestler. Next is the main event. This was a really short match. This was only like 10 minutes. It's no surprise there. Lashley versus Samoa Joe. Kane comes out, distracts Samoa Joe, and Lashley wins. Nothing too much about this. Just pretty much Lashley dominating again. His next opponent is Bobby Roode, though, so I don't know if it's going to be next week that they're going to have their match or the week after. I'm not sure if their pay-per-view is next week or it's the week after. I'm not sure. It's going to be on TNA, though, I think. Yeah, I think, or, you know, like on TV. So it's not going to be. They're, I don't know, though. They're Bound for Glory. I think it's in October, right? Yeah, I think so. I think that's going to they're actually going to have a pay-per-view for that. They're going to be in Japan, I think they said. I think it was something like that. I read about that for a while ago. But we'll see what happens with that. Next week also is supposed to be like I said, the tag team titles with the Wolves. And speaking of the Wolves, I want to clarify this because last week I did say that Davey Richards was not going to be able to, you know, compete because he was hurt. He actually, it's not as serious as they thought. I guess it's not broken or anything like that. I don't know how bad it is, but they said he's going to be fine. So I don't know if they're just letting him take a few weeks off for this match. I don't know if they already filmed this match before this happened or what. But Davey Richards is fine. It's not as serious as they thought. Originally, they thought it was a broken leg. Obviously, it's not a broken leg. So, good for him, you know. It actually is good. I am happy about this, even though I don't like Davey Richards. It is good because one, I don't wish bad things on any wrestler. That's just wrong, anyways. Even if I hate the guy, but it's also good for the tag team title picture because obviously Bully Ray is still leaving, so it's either the Wolves are going to have to win and Devon's probably going to leave after this too because really the only reason he came back was for Bully Ray. So it's really going to only be the Wolves or the Hardys either winning. I actually didn't read spoilers or anything, so I couldn't tell you guys. I don't want to spoil you guys anyways. But, yeah, so who knows what's going to happen. I don't know when they filmed this, if this is going to happen next week or if they're going to wait a few more weeks until Davey Richards is completely healed. But they did say it's not serious, so that's good. Good to know. So the match can continue. It's always good. But that's pretty much all what happened on TNA. It was an average show. They had some good matches. The storylines could have been a little bit. They could have worked more on their storylines. But other than that, it was good. And I want to thank you all for watching. You guys, you mean a lot to me. I know, like I said, sometimes I say a little bit too much, and it's a bad habit. It's a thing to say while you're trying to think of something to say. But I want to thank you guys so much for watching and for supporting me in everything because I love doing this. Joe really got me into this, and I want to thank Joe a lot for it because I was just going to be done after I worked, with Wrestling Impact and stuff. And I was just kind of like, well, I don't think I really can do my own thing, I don't know if I'd really be a good host and everything. But Joe talked me into it, and I'm really glad. He's just like, no, you gotta make your own group and everything. He's like, I'll help you out and everything. So I want to thank Joe for this because, I really enjoy doing it, and I really do enjoy, sharing my opinions and talking about wrestling. I've watched wrestling for over 12 years, so I wasn't as young as when, most people started watching it when they were 4 years old. I was only 9, so I didn't really get into the tomboyish look, I guess, until I was about 9. But I do love wrestling, and I do know my stuff, so thank you guys so much for all your support. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, and don't forget to like our group on Facebook. And guys, make sure you post your own questions you have. Make sure if you want to talk about a wrestler that I haven't talked about, I know I got to talk about TNA a little bit more because I have noticed that most of our viewers really, really enjoy TNA, and I have been talking mostly about WWE wrestlers. Maybe I'll talk about a little bit about TNA after this. But guys, don't feel, scared to ever post. Post your own stuff. Post your own videos. If you, gave your opinions on something, and you want the people to see, feel free to post it in the group. I'm not, going to delete it or anything like that. Don't be scared, to do that or anything like that, We're all friends here. We all share, our stuff, our love for wrestling. We just want to have fun with it. So, don't feel scared, Just share your opinions, and you guys can always message me and everything if you want me to do something different, if you have some ideas, if you want to talk about something, share my opinions on something. I can even make a, just a regular video if you want me to just do one video on one wrestler, if you want me to, share my opinions on a wrestler or something that happened, just let me know, and I'll definitely do that for you guys. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.